everyone. So today we're going to learn about a Roman hero called Hercules. We are focusing now on Roman mythology, but we know that many of the Roman myths were actually taken from the Greek. So Hercules is Heracles in Greek.
He is, yes. That's the two names that we know his myth with are Hercules and Heracles. And what's interesting about this case, which is not always the case, right, is that Hercules, the Roman name, stuck in general culture, I guess even in pop culture recently, much more than Heracles. And many people don't know him as Heracles as much as they do as Hercules.
Interesting. And first off, the most thing we need to know about Hercules is that he was technically a demigod. So what does demigod mean?
A demigod, also known as a half blood these days, is an individual who is the son, in this case Hercules, of a god, but not of a goddess, but rather of a mortal.
So his dad was a god and his mother was a mortal. And what is a mortal?
A mortal is basically somebody who dies, and gods are immortal, which means that they don't die.
Got it. So what would be the most popular thing we need to know about Hercules?
Well, perhaps the best known quality Hercules has is his strength.
Okay. And I heard there was something about him called the 12 labors. So what is that story?
Hercules has committed a terrible act as he has been in a spell of madness that Hera has put on him. And to redeem himself from this terrible act committed during the madness, he has to perform 12 labors or 12 works.
Okay. So what are some of the 12 labors?
Well, there's many. There's 12. He has to get the apples from the Hesperides.
Okay.
He has to tame a wild boar.
Mm-hmm.
And famously, we'll talk about how he has to eliminate the Hydra.
Okay, so what's that story? If we were to focus on one of his 12 labors, let's talk about the Hydra. So how does that go?
The Hydra is this giant serpent, mythical serpent, that has 9 heads. And the problem is that every time that somebody tries to defeat the Hydra and they cut their head, another head grows in its place, but not only another head, but 2 heads. So it's one of those terrible mythical creatures that are difficult to defeat.
And how does he end up defeating it?
Well, in this case, which is also very interesting about Hercules' labors, Hercules needs help.
Okay.
And his helper is going to be in charge of using a torch. So Hercules would use his sword and cut the head, and his helper would use a torch to seal the wound so that the new heads don't spring up.
Okay, pretty clever. All right, great. So I think we have a pretty basic but awesome understanding of Hercules. Now let's go ahead and make a drawing.
Hi there. Today we're going to make a drawing of the Roman god Hercules. So I'm going to use a pencil, and I've got an ebony pencil. You could just use a regular pencil. I'm just using a darker one so you can see my marks, and an eraser. So let's get started. I'm using a piece of white paper, and I'm going to have the paper in this horizontal landscape format. And I'm going to start by drawing just some kind of like a stick figure. So some shapes and lines so we can get the movement going of this Roman god. So I'm going to start with the oval of his head, and I'll start right about here. So let me get that oval going. Now before I get too far into my drawing lesson, I should tell you that we have a pet tortoise, and he likes to make a lot of noise, and he's doing that right now. So you might be hearing Sherman. That's our tortoise, and he loves to play and make some noise. All right. right, so now we'll get back to the drawing and we'll see if Sherman makes any more noise. Okay, so I've got my head and now I'm gonna do his torso. The torso means the top part of your body. So I've got this head, he's gonna be looking that way. And I want this body to be kind of in a diagonal. So I'm gonna start by making first a horizontal line that kind of like breaks through the head. So the head is here, horizontal line comes this way, like that. And then I'm gonna finish off by doing a diagonal here, and then another diagonal this way. Then I'm gonna do a circle right here, and this is his backside, his bottom. That's like his. You'll see it come to life in a second. All right, cool. So this line is gonna keep going on, probably like that. Nice. Then this leg is gonna go out this way. So I need to put something like a kneecap right around here. So I'll make a little circle right there. Then I'll go from here, whoop, like that. That's just a guiding line. I will erase that later. Then I want his other leg. It's gonna kind of go down this way. I mean, the same leg. It's the other part of the leg. Bump, bump, and good. And then the foot goes here, shoop, like that. Okay. Now I'm gonna get this back leg moving this way. And the toe of the back leg is going to end kind of in the same, like on the floor of the other foot. But you'll see what we're gonna do with that. So I'm just gonna make this diagonal line here, but his foot is kind of in an incline as though it's stepping. Great. All right, so let's go back up to the shoulder, make a little circle here. Then go down here, find his elbow about here. Get a line going down for the forearm. He's holding a sword, so I'm gonna go ahead and mark out more or less where the sword is, because then I'll make his hand meet the sword. And about here. Okay? Get the sword. So I know this is a stick figure, but we're gonna start adding flesh to it to make it look more realistic. Okay? Okie doke. So his eye will probably be about here. And then the nose comes out like that way. Then he's got a forehead, of course. Some hair. Then his arm, his other arm, so we can just go like that. Make a circle for his hand. And in this image, the shield is quite large. So it's going like all the way here, here, here. Okie dokes. So that's the first part. If you need to pause and catch up until you can start to add the flesh to the stick figures, go ahead and pause. If not, we're gonna keep moving. All right, here we go. So let's start with the underarm line. So you can see the curves. Now we're gonna start making curved lines. And his chest. So from around where his mouth is, which we can't see too much of it, but he does have like a beard, so we can add that beard just here. So around where the beard is, that's when the center of his chest starts to come around, but it's not the center of this box because of the way his body is twisted. So I'll just go like that. Then I'm gonna make these curved parts for the tops of his chest. Okay, and then this line right here actually needs to move back about here. Then I can curve in and out for his backside, as I said. And we'll curve that all around. Keep going for the curve. And then, so basically we're not touching these stick lines anymore because now we're making, you know, the idea of like muscle and big parts of skin all the way around the inner line that we've made there. Okay, so then his leg goes this way. There. Okay. Then this one will come up top here. And I think I will just line up there with this circle part. Look at it, it's already coming together. Then go in like that. Then I'm gonna add the foot up here. This diagonal for the foot. Okay. And I got the heel and the back like that. Now, you can go ahead and erase some of those inner lines so that you have, yeah, look at that. Looks like a leg. It's like, whoa, okay. Now, I think my foot is a little too big. So I might work on that. Yeah, you need to curve that up. Oh yeah, I think that helps. Okay, cool. Now this line actually almost meets the other line, but not quite. So I'm gonna go right about there. Carry it down. Now I wanna make sure I get this back part. So rather than just focusing on this, a lot of times when you're drawing, you do one part and then the opposite part. And you go do the top and then you do the bottom. You do the left and you do the right. That way you're sure you're getting everything all together. Okay, so I'm gonna go now on the back here, right under there. I think I wanna move this out a little bit more. Okay, then I'll get around for the heel. Then do this bridge of the foot. Have it going down. And then rise up. Make a kneecap. And then the back of the calf. Okay, now go and erase those lines. Look at that. We did it. Okay, nice. So let's work on this back arm. So we've got this big shoulder mark. Then this here. Come around for the forearm and the hand. And make the curve handle of the sword. And then here you can just kind of see his fingers. So let me erase some of this now. Whoa, it's coming together. I love seeing that. All right, so we're gonna put one line, two lines, three lines. So it looks like you can see 4 fingers right there. And then his thumb would be on the other side, which we can't quite see. And then the sword. This way. Color in one half of the sword. Cool, cool. Cool. All right, so now I'm gonna work on this arm over here. So again, with the curved lines, lots of curves here. So we've got this arm strap that's helping him to hold his sword. Oh, that Sherman is being so loud. But that's okay, we forgive him. And this will go straight through that way. Okay, so I didn't explain this. What I did here is just make this part, that's the curved strap for the sword. And then this part of his arm comes out. And then you've got his hand here. Now we can see all 5 of his fingers. So it's like this little spot here for the thumb. And then the 1, 2, 3. When you make 3 lines, it makes it look like 4 fingers. And then he is holding on to another strap. There we go. Ooh. Okay, and then this comes over here. And then we have the sword. And then I'll just sort of, no, I'm sorry, this is the shield. I'm just gonna kind of fix my lines here. Very good. Nice. And let's work on his face a little bit. So this sample drawing, you can't really see too much of his face, so I'm not really gonna focus too much on that. Right, and then, but I do see his ear, so just do a line for the ear. Swap out to a sharp pencil. Then we've got the beard. So just get that beard going there. And then his hair is kind of flowing in the back. Wow, that's great. Okay, so now we can add some lines in the center. So he's got his neck here. Just gonna add a couple of like, just sort of motion lines within his body. So his neck might be, those lines might go that way. Okay. Cool. So then we'll do a few more muscle lines here. And you can be as creative as you want here. You can kind of just play with it. What feels right to you, what you need to erase. Okay, good. Might want to erase some of this. Yeah, this inner line here. Nice. This one doesn't have to be so dark. There we go. And this way. Nice. And put a little bit of shading in there. Like that. Okay. I'm gonna do some shading, some horizontal. So these are called hatch marks when you are doing drawing. So if you're going just one way, it's called a hatch mark. And if you go the other way, it's called cross hatching, because we're crossing our previous hatch mark. So just do some cross hatching or hatching, whatever you want, just getting some shadow on that. And then back here, add a little bit of shading marks here. Nice. And then a little bit of things around here on his legs, just some more sort of muscle lines. Nice. Under here, definitely some shading because it's the back leg. So it's behind. The kneecap. There, maybe the ankle line. You want to add a little bit of a ground line. Do that. Cool. Right here. There we go. I think that's pretty much it. So I'm going to label that, and I'm going to label it Hercules. Okay, so I'm just going to write H, E, just write it kind of in a fun way, R, C, U, L, E, S. All right. Cool. So I hope you enjoyed that video and can't wait to see your results. Bye.